I'm Amy, sex educator, sex and relationship coach, and co-owner of PurePleasureShop.com.
And I'm April, sex toy maven, VP of Hot Octopus, and I've dedicated my life to the business of sex. We're two people with a passion for educating and inspiring shame-free conversations about sex and relationships. Welcome to the Shameless Sex Revolution.
Want to learn more? Go to shamelesssex.com, and for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code shamelesssex at purepleasureshop.com.
You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Well, hello, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Fun fact, April just put Uberlube in her mouth because she lost her voice during our retreat in Tulum last week. And this is not what Uberlube advises you to do, but we do this and it totally works and it's just fine. It can help to coat your throat when you lose your voice.
Well, people at the retreat kept seeing me. It was the Good to Go squirted in my mouth. And like, what are you using right now? Is it breath freshener? I was like, this is Uberlube. It actually helps with my throat, and I use it for blowjobs and
when you've
acid
had
reflux.
acid reflux before.
And this isn't, but I just did this a second ago because my voice is still, for some reason,
it's been
a wee
while.
bit damaged.
Yeah, well, we were at this retreat for 5 days, and we're talking a lot. We're teaching workshops, so it makes sense that once your voice is already going out, then continuously doing that is just going to. So it's a long process for you, but you'll get it back, Chip.
It's hard not to be able to express yourself vocally.
I know. That's why we want to give you like a cute little whiteboard.
Shout out to all the amazing listeners out there.
Shout out to all the amazing people that came to our retreat too.
Oh, also, we love
you all.
We reiterated so many times. We're like, you all are family. Once you're family, once you're in the Shameless Sex family, you can't get out.
And I wasn't even
unless you want to.
And I wasn't even the naked person. There was so many other people that were like the naked or topless people, and I was like, "Thank you for doing that," because it's not related to this other thing we are going to talk about.
We were also supposed to have a 10 p.m.
quiet time.
There was a quiet time ordinance, and we did honor it at first, and then I felt bad because there was a little abuelita living next door, but she never said anything.
Yeah, we never got complaints.
So thank you, abuelita.
One of the retreat participants was like, yes, so I definitely didn't sleep last night because she did not stay out with everyone, and I wasn't out. I was up on the third floor, and I could hear... it was so funny that I could hear you guys and I knew what was happening. I knew you were all taking your clothes off and running into the ocean naked. I didn't even have to see you. I could just hear
we were
that.
Doing a cannonball contest, and you had to give us either a 5 or a 10 or in between.
God. That's why there was all this like, yeah. Oh, okay. And it all makes sense now. Good.
It was fun. It's worth my voice being a little bit haggard.
Totally worth it.
And it will be worth it the next retreat we do, which we're not making any announcements about quite yet.
I think we're thinking a couples retreat. We're still figuring out where and when.
We've had immense amount of emails flooding our inbox about couples. We shall do it.
And we already posted this on Instagram, so we are just going to lightly comment on this right now. And this was not at our retreat. Our retreat was a very wonderful, lovely, safe place.
You posted
everyone.
On your Instagram, right?
Yes, I did, but I don't know if Paige reposted on Shameless Sex. I think she did, but anyways, so this is not at our retreat. April and I, and with another friend, went to a hotel that was fucking fabulous and lovely. Like day one, I was like, I want to come back to this place.
This is 3 days before our retreat.
Before the retreat.
Because we wanted to see Chichen Itza.
Yes. And that hotel was awesome. And everyone was awesome. And April and I both had separate experiences with a man that was on the staff. He was one of the waiters who harassed us, basically.
I wanted to be let back into my hotel room. He said he would take me there, wouldn't give me a key. And as I went into my room, he tried to grab my ass and then pulled my face in to try to kiss me. And I was like, whoa. I need to fucking get out of here. And then later, Amy came to our room traumatized.
Yeah, because an hour later, we're not sure if it's the same person, but an hour later at midnight, I get a knock on my door from someone, and it's this dude who's asking me, about my departure lunch, which isn't a thing. You don't knock on all the doors at midnight. And like, no, the departure lunch isn't even a thing.
It wasn't even in existence.
I was like, oh no, that's not why you're here. You're trying to fuck me right now.
And you asked me, you were like, did you get a knock on your door about departure lunches? I was like, no, I just needed to get let into our room because I only had one key between Kristen and I.
Yeah. He's trying to get, so he tried, we assume it's the same person, tried to get some of you, didn't work, then tried to get some of me, didn't work, but then I didn't feel safe in my own room. So I came to your room and I was carrying a little knife in my hand and I had you and Kristen come back to my room so I could grab stuff to come spend the night in your room and share your bed. And we're just saying this to you all not to be, we're still figuring out how we're going to handle it with this hotel, this company. And so we're still figuring that
there's a
out.
Shame spiral that goes
we
along
had a shame
with
spiral
this because I didn't even want to say anything about my experience to anyone, and I didn't. And then when
you were like, it's not even a big deal.
I was quietly trying to go to bed. You came in and talked about what happened to you when someone knocked on your door and you opened it. And I was like, oh, well, this is what happened to me.
And then Chris and you're like, that's a way bigger deal.
And I was like, I just want to forget about it and go to bed. And then I'm like,
like you're the one that has to deal with it.
And look, people can I think Amy posted a photo on Instagram with me. I was actually bent over petting a cat.
She's not naked.
My
She's wearing a
swimsuit, and it says like "whoa" or something, and Amy's pretending to bite my butt. I was petting this like beautiful cat named
just
Tequila.
because you see this, you don't get to touch us or something like that.
And that was, I was petting a cat during the middle of the day after we went swimming because they had these awesome gatos.
Gatos.
And you didn't violate me, but I was wearing a tube top and a jumpsuit and felt like, what the hell is happening?
We have this story about tube tops now. We're like, is it because we were both wearing tube tops? Like, it must have been the tube tops, which is just, y'all are listening. You know that's bullshit. The slut shamey, like, oh, your shirt, you were wearing a short skirt, or you were wearing a thong bathing suit, or you were being wild, or maybe you even took your top off. So therefore, you were asking for it. And I'm so sorry, and I'm not sorry. But to anyone that actually believes that, you are discrediting yourself in terms of your own power and autonomy. We have the ability to make choices, unless you're like blacked out drunk and you're making the wrong, you don't have that control. But for people like, oh, well, if I see a man or a woman and they're dressed a certain way, so like I had to touch them. I hope that everyone listening as a Shameless Sex fan knows that is fucking bullshit, and we shouldn't have to feel this way.
I felt bad because I separated myself from the group because I wanted to go to bed.
No, that's because I was mean to you. We got in a
fight. And then I wanted to decompress by myself, and then I didn't have a key because they only gave us one key, and this is all for a reason. So I separated myself from the group, and I'm like, did I do something bad because I separated myself from the group, thinking that, oh, maybe it's my fault? And then I didn't have a key, so I had to go to the front desk. And the person that was at the front desk was the person that said they would walk me back to the room, who I had never seen before. We had like 4 different waiters, but he didn't have a name tag.
He's the only one that didn't have a name tag.
Yeah.
They all did. And everyone else that was working there
was amazing.
Fabulous.
I absolutely adored. And I know that this might be a long-winded story, and the only reason we're speaking about it is because we didn't feel like we could that night because there were 5 other men there.
Yeah, there was no security to go to because they were all friends with each other.
It wasn't like a Marriott.
Yeah.
We're at like
in the middle of nowhere.
It was in the middle of nowhere, and it was, everything else was amazing. It was just this particular, hopefully one person, Amy and I.
Which is shitty because everything else was amazing, but then we ended up leaving feeling really disappointed, drained, sad, exhausted, all the things,
and wanting to talk to the managers about it, but not having enough time because we had to get to the retreat.
That dude ruined his actions ruined our entire experience. Maybe you could say like, oh, we had a lot of good times, but do we want to go back to that hotel now? No, we don't. Did I want to go back there the day I got there? Was like, this place is amazing? Yes. And
it wasn't amazing.
And also, did we go through our shame spiral of we're too much, we're too provocative, we're too open about being sex educators, so we're asking for this. We know that that's bullshit, and we also did feel that.
Yeah.
And that sucks.
And I'm sorry I can't wear a fucking swimsuit.
You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I'm like, can I not wear a swimsuit anymore either?
Yeah. You can totally wear a swimsuit.
I know I can.
That's
I want everyone out
but
there
just
to
watch
know
out for
that.
tube tops, though, because then you're asking.
Apparently,
for it.
I mean, yeah, I was a bando. So okay, so
That's it.
moving on.
Just wanna
That's
share.
it. We will not speak of it again unless some progress happens.
Yeah, we'll see
and
what
we
happens.
Hear back from the hotel. We did.
Yeah, we're waiting
did
to see what
contact them.
how they work with us. And then, so just as a reminder, that was not at our retreat. Our retreat was actually lovely to go to our retreat and be with all women. And even though there were some men that were working there, like our lovely chefs, it was so safe. And we were like, yes, we were like, this is such a safe place, and it felt so good. But what we would like to know from all of you, and we've asked this before, we want to plan our next retreat. It's likely a couples retreat, but we don't know for sure yet. We want to know if you want to come to a shameless sex retreat sometime in the next year. Please let us know where you want to go, when you want to go, etc. What kind of retreat you want, and all you have to do is go to our website, and there's a link there to let us know.
What do you mean by what kind of retreat do you want?
Like, do you want couples?
Okay.
Do you want all women's?
Yeah.
Things like that.
Because if you want like a tantra specific retreat, that's not going to be
That's
us.
not our retreat.
If you want a specific retreat to learn more about only your pussy and that's it.
I mean, if you go to the Google form, it has very simple questions.
There you go.
So you will figure out how to
and
answer them.
How long does it going to take? It takes
2 minutes.
Maybe less.
Yeah.
Because it
It's
took me
quick.
about 35 seconds.
Yeah.
We just need to gauge where we want to go. Caribbean. We're talking
And when, too. We want to know when.
also when?
you know.
November.
Not
October.
tax season, apparently.
And not July. Okay, so let's talk about, before we get to the sex question, we have an event. We have actually 2 events
lot
on
of
the
events.
East Coast. May 17th, we're going to be at MoSex. So this is 2024.
New York.
MoSex means Museum of Sex, and that's on 5th Avenue in Manhattan in New York City. It's a free event. It's a meet and greet. You can hang out with Amy and I. We'll be there for 2 hours from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We can sign your book. There'll be books there. We're also, thankfully, they have a sex like carnival.
Oh, it's so much
You can
fun
go
there.
through the museum and go on this booby bounce house. It is awesome. You can
place-
learn stuff, and then they always have traveling exhibitions, just like any other museum.
When we were talking to whoever's running MoSex about having this event, they're like, "Are you okay with the fact that there'll be like a whole carnival going, like a sex carnival going?" We're like, "Perfect."
And we'll be by the bar area. You could go in. There's no reason to sign up. It's just kind of come go as you please.
In New York, you're number 1 city in the U.S., so
And
we expect
Brooklyn
to see a
even-
lot of you there.
And Brooklyn on top of us. Shout out to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Hey, Brooklyn loves us.
Just come over the bridge. Come
Hell
see
yeah.
us.
And then the next day, so that's May 17th was the first day, May 18th, which is a Saturday, we will be at Hustler in Philadelphia. And that's also a free event. And
But buy your tickets for this one.
this
though.
one, yeah. So the MoSex event, that's a meet and greet. You can do whatever you want. If you want to come to Philly, take the train from New York to Philly, buy a ticket. You don't have to buy a ticket. It's free. But what happens is they can kind of account for how many people are going to be there.
They might have to cap it. So get your
Right,
tickets
because
so that you
it's
you
a smaller
go.
location.
Yeah.
And then we'll have books there for signing. We do a workshop. It's going to be a couples workshop / singles workshop. And it's a mini workshop or maxi workshop. It's not going to be more
We're
than
kind of
an
more
hour.
maxi than many people.
Yeah. And there will be seating. And then anyone that actually signs up, you get VIP bags. You also get 20, I think it's 15% off that night.
You get a nice discount.
It's a discount between
And-
15 to 20%.
And
I
you
can't
hang out
remember.
with us and you get to learn. That one's more like an actual workshop where you learn, and we're talking about sex toys, pleasure, orgasms, all those fun things. And whereas the MoSex is like, we're hanging out with you, we're signing books, we're partying with you.
Yeah. And you can go to the carnival with us.
And we're all going to the sex carnival.
Hell yeah. And so to get your free ticket for the Hustler Philly event with Shameless Sex, go to either shamelesssex.com and look in the show notes. You can also check out Hustler Hollywood, and it's very simple. It's free. Just let them know that you want to come.
Yep, there's a link on our website in the event section or in the show notes to go sign up for that one. And yes, free. And then everyone. So this is May.
And then,
but then June happens, and July and August. And so we are going on an official show tour. This is different than what we usually do. We usually, teaching workshops and teaching you just about sex. Where
It's an
we're
official
talking
live tour.
This is a live show tour, and it's not just going to be us. It is a mix. We're calling it like our sexy podcast variety show.
It has nothing to do with books or book signing,
Nope.
although we will have some books there if you want. It's nothing to do with books though. It's nothing to do with the workshop. It's edutainment.
It's edutainment. Thank you, Dirty Lola. And I think Dirty Lola will be with us at our first show in Portland. So in Portland, we will be in Portland in mid-June. We will be in Chicago late June. We'll be in Los Angeles early-ish July, and we'll be in Seattle early-ish August. So here's the thing, y'all. This like I said, this is a show. You want to come and watch. This is going to be awesome, entertaining, and you're going to be highly entertained and involved. But
it's a ticketed event.
Ticketed, and the first 20 people who buy their tickets, and I won't tell you what locations, but some of these locations have already sold over 20 tickets, and some of them have not. So the first 20 people who buy tickets get a bottle of Uberlube, and we will personally give it to you when you arrive. And anyone who buys a ticket to one of these shows, one of these paid event shows, or you buy our book and you go to our website and you click this link that's just sent, basically gives you the ability to send us your receipt, a copy of your receipt, we will give you free sex and relationship advice. And that people pay a lot of money for that, right? Like, I charge $200 an hour for that stuff.
And everyone listening, yes, you can get free bottles of Uberlube if you sign up. However, if we don't get enough signups, because these venues that we're going to be doing these live shows in, which will be like variety shows, if we don't have a minimum number, so some are 40, some are 60, some are 100, we will cancel the show. And we don't want to cancel. We want to see you, Portland. We want to see you, Chicago, Los Angeles, Seattle. So please buy a ticket.
There's not last minute, now.
Yeah, right now, yesterday, today. And take your friends. I have friends in Chicago coming. And
the whole Uberlube team's coming to Chicago.
Our landlord and her whole family's coming.
Oh, yeah. Our naked landlord will be there.
So we don't need...
all the people from our retreat, they're all coming to the different shows?
Yeah. So buy the ticket. Take the ride.
Woo!
And if the show is canceled, we will give you enough notice. But please, come see us.
Impress us so we don't cancel it. And if we have to cancel it, then I will give you a spanking if you consent to it.
And some of them are $25 for the general admission.
It's not a lot of fucking money.
No.
And we'll give you free sex advice.
I spend more on like a coffee these days. I swear is $25.
The coffee place below your house.
That was $11 mocha.
That is,
and it was a small.
That's bullshit. Back in my day, coffee cost $2.99.
I was just talking to the person at the grocery store about it.
All right. Anyways, ready for a sex question?
Let's do it.
It's about coffee and how expensive it is.
No, it's definitely not.
It's about deep throating, actually. It's kind of fun, which is fun because you just put Uberlube in your mouth.
Slurpee stick shift.
Oh, that's happening at the shows for sure.
So that was from Vibe Expo. Yeah. It's going to get way hotter than
April's rainbow dick.
Okay, yeah. Okay, sex questions.
All right, anyway, sorry. My boyfriend really wants me to deep throat him, and I'm a little scared. I've never done it before, and he's on the bigger side. Any tips? I love fucking simple questions like this.
It's gonna be for you. You've taught me how to deep throat.
I did,
and I still am not that great at it.
Why don't you think you're good at it?
Because I have a small mouth, and my gag reflex, I can use it, but I go like I really back off.
That's just normal though.
Yeah, and I'm toothy.
Oh yeah, you're just a small, compact person all the way. You got a small pussy, small mouth, small body, small little April.
Me.
She a tiny little chip. So the deep throating thing, I learned how to deep throat from all these fantastic educators. I think you even Read Me Halko was one of them. When we had the brick and mortar of Pure Pleasure that I owned with my mom, but now we have purepleasureshop.com, and April worked there for a year. And anyways, we had sex education classes almost every week with amazing educators. A lot of them have been on our show. And I remember Read Me Halko taking one of the suction dildos, and putting it on the glass door, the front door of our place, in the glass, and like showing us how to deep throat this. And so he was talking about a number of things. One, angle, okay, let's start with the lube though. First of all, no dry mouths. For blowjobs in general, just anything touching genitals, you want lube at all times. Even
if you have like a good saliva roll going,
add some lube.
Still add some lube. And just like I did before the show, which I'm going to do again.
Do more. Yeah, coats it. And Uberlube has no flavor, no scent, and it doesn't hurt your body when it goes in. So you can use it for oral and for all kinds of other sex. April just put it in her mouth right now.
I wouldn't drink a gallon, but maybe I would.
I bet you'd be fine, but you'd probably get like cleansed on the inside.
Yes, I would. Different podcast.
And one of the nice things though about deep throating is that when you put something deep in the back of your throat, it actually kind of creates natural lube. It creates more saliva. So I still use Uberlube when I'm doing hand jobs, blow jobs, deep throating. But then I will take the cock and I will kind of shove, like not shove. That's not how I want to make that sound, but like when I'm deep throat and pushing it back in the back of my throat, it produces more saliva.
We talked to the swallowologist about this, who has a, I believe, PhD. She was amazing. She's
the best title ever.
I think she was on that Married to Medicine show. She wasn't on it. She was a guest doing a class or something for the people.
Our number 2 most downloaded or watched video on YouTube.
So there you go. And because she talked about how that reaction that your body does, creating that gag reflex, is protection so you won't die.
Yeah, it's intelligent. It's a good thing.
So it's a good thing. So you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah, we're not trying to avoid that. It's that, that happens. But if you actually feel like you are going to throw up, that's a different thing. I have talked to a couple people who have thrown up on some dicks from deep throating.
No way.
Really? You've never heard that?
I thought about that happening to me, and I'm like, oh my God, please no.
One of them, threw up, and then it was like really, really uncomfortable, and I don't think they were comfortable ever deep throating again. The other one, and I'll tell you who it is after the show because you know her, and she'd be totally down for me to tell you her name.
Okay.
She threw up, came back, kept sucking it.
Nice. I would need to drink some water or something.
Oh my God, me too.
Bile and things.
Ooh,
no. That's actually, it's so acidic. It's not good for your teeth.
Yeah, that's some badass horny shit right there. Good for her.
Good job.
So yes,
clapping.
So so we were talking about the lube part, but so I remember. With Read Me Hulk talking about the angle, right? Your mouth and then your throat curves down in a certain way, and so when you're whatever cock you're sucking or dildo you're sucking, you want it to be curving the same way. So and not all cocks are curved the same way, but some curve up, some are a little left, some curved a little to the right. So think of that like ergonomically, right? Like you want it to almost perfectly fit through your mouth and then down your throat, and not be going like the opposite direction where it's poking into the top of your throat. And there's a lot of positions that are really helpful for that. I mean,
the mouth masterclass too.
Yeah, Samaya. Oh my God, she's the best. Basically, we should stop talking because you say talk to Samaya. Hadusa? Yeah.
Yeah, we have many episodes. I didn't look them up, but I will while Amy's finishing.
Yeah, we have so many episodes on this, but yeah, Samaya is a master, Hadusa too, and so okay, so that's angle. Pay attention to angle, and then another thing I want to say about deep throating is teeth happen. Like it's as if with like blowjobs and deep throating, Yes, we are trying to make it so that our teeth are not touching your cock or your dildo. We're trying our best. But if you're deep throating, they might do a little bit of a graze-y thing. And everyone just be gentle with each other, be patient. And some people are also into that. They actually enjoy that. And then let's see, what else with deep throating? You don't have to make deep throating a really long experience. I think a lot of porn shows it as this thing that's happening for like a whole long scene for 10 minutes. Me personally, and I don't know about you, April, but when I deep throat, if my blowjob is 10 minutes, I'm deep throating for maybe 30 seconds, then I stop, do a whole bunch of other stuff, then I deep throat again for a little bit, then I stop, or maybe I give my partner permission to push my head down with some consensual like head pushing, deep throating. But the whole blowjob is not deep throating, and that would be really hard on my body. And lastly, don't use anything numbing near the back of your throat.
Please don't. Please don't do that.
No,
Please don't.
You need to be able to feel what's happening. I do know someone.
We don't want you to get hooded.
I know someone who got an abscess from deep throating because they were using numbing stuff and not listening to their body. And so not only don't use numbing stuff, but if you feel pain or discomfort, stop, slow down, add lube. That shouldn't be a part of the experience. It should be something that you're only enjoying, engaging in, and giving.
I think some of the intensity comes from like the eye watering and all of that when you're.
I like that part.
Yeah, when your gag reflex. I mean, that happens to me if I just am brushing in the back of my throat.
Yeah, like, but we get the eye watering, and then your partner's like, "Wow, my dick's so great." Her eyes are watering.
And I just want to close that because I think Amy really did a great job with providing a lot of tips. Episode 237 was with Samaya. That's the Mouth Masterclass 2.0. Yes. She's also in our book because she's so incredible, the Shameless Sex book, about basically mastering that D. And then episode number 204 was dick sucking techniques with Hadusa. So those are both resources. We have even more, but we won't bore you with that because we also did a sword swallowing. Was it Watayomi? Who do we do? Remember?
Tayomi, yeah, no, Tayomi did How to Suck Dick Like a Boss.
Yes, so that is
and
one
that's
that
her,
I just.
yeah, How to Suck Dick Like a Boss. Just look that up, y'all.
She'll
How
be
to
on our
suck-
show again. She's been on our show.
Yeah.
How to suck dick like how to suck dick like a boss.
She's did How to Suck Dick Like a Boss. Then she's done the cowgirl
They already get
writing.
Yep, but episode number 130.
But she's coming on soon to talk about eating pussy because she recently started eating pussy and she's been told that she's really good at it.
Look at how long ago this was. Episode 130.
It's still one of our top episodes.
We are ancient little podcasters.
We're old.
All right, you ready for a bio? Because
Yeah.
Tracy is so cool.
Oh my god, I fucking
We did
love
mention that, right?
Did we mention how much
I think
we love
we
Tracy?
started off with talking about our
Trauma.
trauma in Mexico. Sorry.
All right, so Tracy,
I'm about to read her bio, but she's
just
a long
the best
friend, a long-term friend and dear friend. Didn't you do a training with her of some sort too?
I didn't do a training with her, but she came to Santa Cruz because she was training at adult stores here, and then she and I went to a hot yoga class that Zach was teaching.
Yeah.
So Zach's my partner. He was teaching hot yoga. And I can say his name here. That's
you
cool.
can now?
Yeah, he's cool. Zach, can I say your name? I'm cool. Zach, my partner, was teaching, and Tracy.
What's his social security number again?
555-555-555. And so Zach was teaching in his little shorts, and Tracy came because she also teaches hot yoga outside from working in the adult industry. And so we did that, and then we went out to lunch, and it was just fabulous. And she's just like has this presence. I mean, it's kind of similar to you and I. This is my opinion. It's like feels like soft, grounding, loving, but then wild.
Yeah,
like all of the
her
things.
and I we were at a wedding together in Dallas.
That must have been
last
fun.
year, and then we all went out to a strip club together. There were about 9 of us, and that's a great way to describe her. She was so much fun, and
But then she can also be like, "Do you want to do some yoga now?"
Yeah,
namaste.
Well, I haven't had that experience as much as you have with her, but she's a badass. So here's her bio. Everybody listen up because she's awesome. She's on the road a lot teaching people of the world about sex toys and sex positivity, and she's brilliant. And I can't wait for y'all to hear this episode because it was like talking to a best friend because she really is.
I just wish it would have been in person.
Yeah, next time we'll do another one. Tracy Felder is on a mission to spread her sex positive knowledge and skills. Tracy's career path has led her to COTR, where she serves as Product Education Director. She is also a certified sex educator and is promoting sexual wellness, self-care, and acceptance of all gender identities and sexualities. To learn more about COTR products, visit bvibe.com or lawan.com. And if you want to find all of their amazing products, go to purepleasureshop.com and just use code SHAMELESSSEX and you'll get 15% off your whole order.
My mom says, "Thank you." All right, everyone, it is interview time, and we are here today with Tracy Felder Conley. No hyphen. And we absolutely love Tracy. We've known her for a number of years now through the adult product, the pleasure product industry.
You used to say the sex industry, and I was like, Amy, people get the wrong idea. They're like, think we're at porn shows all the time, and we're fellow porn. And I'm not shaming pornographers or porn stars or any people in that field, but I'd always like, it's not the sex industry. It is related to it, but it's
I always
sex
think of
toy.
the sex industry as a like umbrella term for all the things, right? Like I do, and so you do too. We do a lot of things in the sex industry as a sex educator, sex and relationship coach. I work for Uberly. We have the podcast. So when I say that, like I work in the sex industry, makes more sense than pleasure products because I don't just work in the pleasure products industry. That's just me. And if they want to think I'm a porn star, good for you. You go ahead. All right. I don't know. I would probably have to be like Amy something and not Amy Baldwin.
Ooh,
But
I could think of a lot. Amy Bald Nuts.
ooh, I know. I think this has been A, like Amy Anal or something.
What was this for you grew up on? Locust?
Locust.
Amy Locust. Wait, no, what's your middle? And Marie Locust. Isn't it that?
Yeah.
Or no, your first dog's name or pet's name? And your magic
your first-
locust.
Yeah.
That's ding, ding, ding. We got a winner,
Wait,
folks. We got a winner.
What would yours be?
It is, it's a funny one too. Megan Takawana.
I like that.
That's pretty hot.
Yeah, I
Megan
like that.
Takawana sounds really cool. Okay,
Megan
so
Takawana.
mine is Scrubs Division.
Ooh,
Stop.
that's interesting. That's your porn name?
His name was Scrub Man too. So should I go by Scrub Man?
Scrub Man, yeah,
Scrub
Scrub
Man.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that? People come from near and far to see Scrub Man Division on
Oh my
scene.
That has to be some fun pet stuff that I need to
Yeah.
see.
So I'm really into scrub man fetish.
Oh,
So-
man.
anyways, that's not what this episode is about. So this episode is about sex on the road and overseas. And April and I have traveled a lot for the pleasure products industry specifically. And Tracy has too. And I have a feeling Tracy has probably traveled a lot more than both of us.
I don't know. I feel like we might have covered the same maps.
Either you and April would take the cake far
Okay.
over me.
I used to see you everywhere when I would be traveling a lot, and I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
Yeah, we always have fun. You are knowledgeable. You're a sex educator. I mean, we already gave your bio, but I've learned from you, and I learn from you every time we're together as well because we are in the same industry,
Yeah.
and it's like totally two different companies. But I love what the LaWand is too, and like what your company has offered and what you've brought to the table with them because you're a genius. And you
Thank
really
you.
like, I feel like you care about people's pleasure, kind of like Amy and I, hopefully not kind of, but like Amy and I do. And you're always really helpful with Legend and trying to help me make him an obedient animal. I'm like, Casey's
Yeah.
never going to work. It's not going to work. He's like, I got
Auntie
this. I can
Tracy.
train him.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Yeah.
He does
Yeah.
listen to her more than he listens to me. She's got like a dominant thing that you're like, shit. And he's
Right.
like, "Oh,
Oh yeah, Tracy told me how she teaches. She also teaches Bikram yoga, and she
Yeah.
she showed me how she teaches. Like, wow, you was kind of scary.
You know, so many people say that, and I'm like, I don't see it at all. I think I'm just projecting a lot of tone so you can hear me because sometimes I'm very quiet.
Yeah.
And then people come out and they're like, why were you yelling at me? And I'm like, no, this is everyone.
Yeah.
You
Not
were,
just you.
It's not personal.
you were giving a class, like just a one-person class to Amy as an example, the last trade show in LA. And I walked in from
I
a
was
dinner
wobbling.
and I heard some military voice. I'm sorry. I did not. I was like, what's going on? And I couldn't see because you were in the lobby and it was echoing because it was in the lobby. And I was like, what's going on? I asked the front desk, they're like, oh, there's a serious class going on back there. I look at it, I'm like, it's Tracy and Amy. And you're like, and move. And I was like, Tracy,
This is also
I
after-
listened to you in a second. It was beautifully done though. It was gentle, but with a firm tone.
I had a couple cocktails too, and so I was
Yeah.
wobbling
I mean,
everywhere.
yeah.
1:30 in the morning, P.S. We got kicked out of the bar area after that.
It wasn't because of the yoga though.
It was not
No.
because of the yoga.
No.
It wasn't
No.
because of the yoga.
And if we got in trouble, Tracy would just talk to them in that same way and make them do yoga. So it'd be perfect.
Yeah.
It was actually me throwing the ball for Legend that really got everyone kicked out.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
We don't love that.
You're welcome,
That's
everyone.
fine.
Sorry.
I blame you. All right. So, Tracy, we always start with the same prompt for all of our guests. And so we are very curious if you can tell us a little bit more about how you got into the field of sexuality.
Yeah. So that's a great question. I used to work for a lingerie store. And I really liked working for a lingerie store. It's a small little retailer. We were in Philadelphia. That's where I'm from originally. And I had a connection with a lot of the dancers that came from the gentlemen's clubs. They love lingerie. They love, the outfits. And, sometimes they want just something basic to maybe even walk around in, just, hit the floors with their cash so they don't have to wear their extravagant performative outfits on the floor. So I decided to start getting more into that industry because I was just like, I want to be able to go to these gentlemen's clubs and sell these kinds of products and be like, you don't have to worry about doing this extra travel. I'll be here to sell some products. So I sold some products for them and it went well. The store eventually closed down. And then I was in event production, lighting, staging, and I felt like I was still having a really strong connection between person, networking, talking, and then also just like learning also just more about my sex and my body and like dating and like a whole bunch of things. So I got the opportunity to open up an adult store in Philadelphia. And I was just immediately like, yes, like I am like the black sheep of the family. So she is the most like outgoing, travel friendly, wants to explore, and we'll say yes to something. And I was just like, yeah, I'm going to do it. Let's try it. Let's see how it goes. And from there, it was such a wonderful experience because I really opened up my own sexuality. I found my sort of to begin my identity, begin my gender, my own personal gender studies, and really feel like it was so imperative to connect with the community. So I brought in yoga, I brought in other events, and it was doing really well until like it didn't. And when sometimes stores cannot, hold up the bandwidth like they can based off of the economy of the times, we had to close down. Mm-hmm. And I was really bummed because I really did not want to disconnect myself from the sex adult industry. I wanted to still be connected. And I got the opportunity to join this wonderful company, COTR, which has 3 brands, LaWand, B-Vibe, and The Cowgirl, and working under a woman-founded company and a woman operating company. I was like, I'm stepping forward for this. And then to be able to create a voice, create a person of color voice, create a voice where I'm coming in and giving my own spin on sex education, becoming a certified sex educator, also being a certified yoga teacher, bringing those harmonies together. It's just been a very huge launch for me. And it's brought me to meeting beautiful people like y'all and just like, yeah, so that's where I am as of now today. I live in Detroit, and that's where I am now today.
I love that. And I think maybe that's where I first met. I feel like I might have met you when you had that shop. Like, I feel like I remember something when you said that, but maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe we just met in a past life, because I always feel so like I always have felt really like a calmness and a familiarity with you, like ever since we first met. And maybe that's just who you are. And also I don't have that with everyone. So I wonder if I had at least popped into your store. We'll talk about that after. And I'm happy to know that you had a retail shop, because a lot of folks that are working with manufacturers they've only been in the retail space on the side of selling products or merchandising the products, marketing the products. They haven't spoken to the masses of consumers, the people that are actually shopping and need to know what their bodies, they don't understand their bodies, or they want to know like what should I do? There's so many sex toys too. It can be like really hard to navigate. But I want to ask you a question about because your partner and has it changed like from the time that you like your partnership? Because you've been with your partner a long time, right?
No, we've been together for about 3 years. So we're still newlyweds.
Oh, you're still okay, but you're married. That's right. So have you noticed any shifts like from your relationships previous to being in? I always wonder this because I know my answer, but previous to working with sex toys and in the sex toy industry, previous relationships, and it's also kind of obvious because we get older, but to like where you are now in partnership and also becoming a certified sex educator. Because sometimes I run into humps and I'm like, why am I not better at this relationship?
Yeah.
Why am I not? And then other times I'm like, oh man, I'm so good at this like sex thing, but relationship part's hard. So I don't know if you have anything to share, because you are an expert and people ask us that all the time, but you're someone new that has also had the experience. So anything you want to share about that?
Yeah, good question. I mean, honestly, it's just like any relationship, communication. Like that's the uphill, downhill, side hill, roller coaster, experience that we need to continue to have in our relationships. And I can say the same thing, like sometimes like my sex is like, all right, it's exploratory, it's explosive. And I'm like, let's go do this. Let's do it now, right now. And then other times I'm just like, I don't even have the bandwidth to think about pleasure because I haven't even given the space for myself to pleasure myself yet. Mm-hmm. So to then, change your perspective on also considering your spouse, your other partner, is something that it takes a challenge, and it just takes honestly communication, and not just communication with like yourself. I mean, of course with yourself, but even more with your partner too. And like just being like, maybe we need to schedule some sex dates. Mm-hmm. We do our Friday nights, we do date night in, like it's just us. We do not go out and hang out with friends. maybe we knock out a budget. Sometimes when we finish a budget, I'm like, I get turned on. Like,
really? I love numbers. Ooh.
Punching numbers, setting goals. Like, I'm like, a calendar, like, bright. Yes, the calendar with stickers and things to settle, and like seeing my partner's focus on it. I'm like, that is very attractive to me. And that's something new that I had to like figure out on my own. Mm-hmm. And also not just doing again, performative sex, just making sure that sex is really giving you something back, right? Just making sure that there's something for you in this sexual pleasure space, whatever it is. And, continuously talking about it no matter what, Mm-hmm. So I use like an anagram, but like the word but, B-U-T-T, like be thinking about it, be talking about it, be consensual, you understanding what is in your space, what is going on in the space. And then T, like continuously talking about it. And then the last T is thanking, being thankful, thanking yourself, thanking your partner, thanking the space, and just being like grateful and honorful of the whole situation, and just being a little bit more open or expandful in that.
I love that, Tracy. But did you come up with that in the budget meeting with your partner?
Yeah, like, honey, I think while he's like putting up like specific dates, I'm like, you know what? I think we found a new anagram. He's like, pay attention.
Perfect.
Doesn't help with the person with ADHD either, right?
That'd be me.
Yeah, the mind starts to wander.
I was gonna say, I feel like this would be really good for April. She's like the one that gets turned on by PowerPoints.
Yeah. It's Excel spreadsheets for me. So
Excel.
Excel. Don't even get me started. Whoa. My partner knew how to use Excel. I would be literally, my pants would be down by the time we got to like column D.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Row 3, column
right?
D.
And you just added a simple formula like some. I'm like, you better come get some of this.
Yeah. I put some parentheses and an equal sign on that before.
Right?
No, you didn't. Ooh. Did you calculate a percentage? Oh
my God. That is a plug and play right there. Plug it in. I'm a play.
Oh my goodness. Wow. I thought I was like one of those, like, I like logistics, logical, heady people, but you all are showing me a new side. Calling all couples who are feeling like your relationship, especially the sexual connection, has lost its spark, is just so, or maybe you're feeling stuck or in a rut. Wah, wah, wah. Well, first off, you are completely normal and not alone. This is super common in long-term relationships. Second, there's hope. Maybe you've thought about seeking out support from a coach or therapist, but for whatever reason, aren't feeling ready to take that leap. Never fear, Shameless Sex is here. The book, I mean. While our latest book, Shameless Sex, Choose Your Own Pleasure Path to Unlock the Sex Life You've Been Waiting For, is for everyone, it's specifically geared towards couples who are looking to go from so-so to great in the bedroom and beyond. Written in a playful and fun choose-your-own-adventure style, we give you a simple framework with customized solutions to give you the right tools for the sex and relationships you desire, meaning you just might find your way to sexy pleasure and connection town without the time and cost of hiring a therapist for under $30. Plus, buying the book supports us and shows us you love us, so that's a bonus too. Testimonials are coming in left and right as to how this book helped people just like you create or recreate the sex life of their dreams. And you can too. Grab your hardcover copy or audio version now at shamelesssex.com. Hey, y'all. So I guested on the Feeling Lighter podcast with Dr. Lisa and Katie, and I wanted to share more about their WeShape offering because I absolutely love what they are doing.
I listened. I wasn't there, but I loved it too. And we get so many emails from people who are wanting to learn to love their bodies, and WeShape is the perfect solution for them. It's all about feeling comfortable in your body while letting go of the societal BS, that's bullshit, about how you should change it.
Heck yes, girl. And we would explain more to you, but instead, we're going to let Katie, one of the founders, do it in a more succinct way. So here you go.
Hi, I'm Katie, the co-founder at WeShape. We are a fitness app taking a radically different approach and paving a new path in the fitness industry. Our primary goal is to focus on people's physical and mental well-being. So we've created a product with workouts that are rooted in quality movement and connection with the body. We have a technology that has real-time customization that can meet you exactly where you are. We also believe that all movement counts, which is why we also offer stretching routines that take as little as 10 minutes. And as a means of addressing our mental well-being, WeShape offers daily community calls with various coaches that create a safe and judgment-free space with the primary goal of acknowledging that everyone has the right to accept and love their body just as it is, and that we don't need to meet societal standards to feel valued. So if you're ready to shift how you feel in your body and about your body, WeShape is here for you. Check us out at WeShape.com/shameless for 35% off today.
I'm going to bring this to the sex overseas part because I just kind of going with the way you're talking about the communication. And this episode is not about non-monogamy. Maybe we could talk about that too, but it's not about that. I'm thinking more like sex overseas and staying connected to your partner. But I also want to talk about like being a single person in sex overseas. And so, but you know, so you want to be connected to your partner while you're traveling or just sex on the road, right? I'm going to be in New York. My partner is in Ohio. And we want to stay, you know, connected. And there's all kinds of products and ways to do that. And we'll probably talk about things that aren't just products. But so what have you learned in your own world, maybe in your personal life, as well as working for COTR? What have you learned from your experiences with sex on the road and overseas?
Yeah. Oh gosh, so many things. First of all, just like being in the mindset of like where you are in this space, like you're flying, you're driving, maybe you're taking a boat. Consider things to consider while traveling in the first place, right? You want to make sure that you stay hydrated. You want to make sure that you bring your necessary travel bag, right? We have our amenities bag that we travel with, but a sex bag I think is very important to definitely have. Mm-hmm. And then also connection and communication also can increase libido or increase arousal. So I think those three pivotal points are really important. Definitely, again, hydration, just like I know like we are traveling on the road and you get stressed out sometimes and you like, God, I would love a drink. You know, I would love a glass of wine. And then like 2, 3, 4 wines later, you're just like, all right, I'm ready to go. Right.
So that doesn't count as hydration, Tracy?
No. Sorry.
Damn it. I was doing so great right up until then.
I'm sure you are. I mean, like, and just having that way of just like making sure that your body stays hydrated. You're in different altitudes. You're in different levels of environments where it has so much effect on you. The pollution, the pollen, the people, germs, like the bare minimum basic is just to really stay hydrated as much as you can to keep your body completely hydrated, lubricated, relaxed. I mean, even for folks that travel a little bit and, you know, sometimes traveling for them can be hard on the bum, right? On the butt, maybe you get like hernias, maybe you get like a polyp, things of that nature. If you stay hydrated, see, April's doing it.
She's drinking water as you say that. Yeah, she's like, Mom said.
Tracy said, I'll do it.
It really keeps you much more present and much more, I think, grounded in that level. And I mean, I travel with my water bottle. Like I cannot go without it.
Oh, me too.
So
I don't go anywhere without it.
Yeah, to me the other day, which I didn't realize, it was like, aha, and I'm 41. They were like, oh, drinking a lot of water, it helps just lubricate your joints and keep everything. I was like,
and your genitals.
Oh,
and
your genitals.
Yeah.
But it makes sex easier. If your joints are lubricated, you can kind of do some more movement.
Yes.
So I didn't think about that.
Yeah. So you're continuously, as a yoga teacher, you're continuously telling your students, hydrate before, during, after, continuously throughout your week, throughout your practice. So it's important to keep that practice there because yes, we do need that water to keep our genitals well moisturized because we all know that, you know, saliva is not a hydrating item. And we also know that we need lubrication to keep that going. So that leads you into your sex bag, your travel bag, right? And I was so inspired this time to talk about it because I just came back from Spain and we were kind of in a rush to kind of like pack things. And I only wanted to do a carry-on. I am not the check-in kind of gal. I don't like that. I'm just
Me too.
not. I'm also like TSA pre-check, Estate Global. I'm not taking my shoes off. So like, I need to make sure that what I am packing in my bag has all of the essentials. And I feel like a sex bag or a travel naughty bag, however way you want to describe it, is an essential to being able to have these pleasures while you're on the road. What is in that bag, right? First thing first, lube, right? First thing first. That's why one thing I love about Uber Lube, they have those cute little travel size.
Yeah, the good to goes. Yeah.
Yes. And they come in different colors. So like it fits your style. I'm like, yes. Like
can match your sex toys.
They just came out with one that matches our book. I was like, did you all do that on purpose? Thank you.
Actually, they had it before we did.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
So like, first of all, lube, a foil packet, like those things that are like small that, you know, fit under the 3.2 ounces that, you know, US requires for you to travel with anything. That's like always my number one. My number two is a bullet, a small bullet. I love that we have, sorry, I'm like reaching over. I should have had this product ready, but
okay.
I love our Lawand bullets because of the fact that it has it's travel friendly, and it also has a textured ring that allows for you to have not just outdoor stimulation, but also indoor stimulation.
Oh, cool. I never knew that.
Nice.
And outdoor, indoor, everyone. She's not talking about outside, like in the sun. It's like your pussy.
You can use that for anal stimulation if you wanted.
You could. I would take this. I would definitely take the silicones off.
Okay.
It's like a sleeve.
Because you could. It's like an extra like texture, so you could take it off. You could have a little bit of internal. Yes, internal stimulation is definitely okay. But like to have like a ring like this creates much more of a harmful reduction of, you know, play, right? So like if someone just took out a regular bullet, you cannot obviously put this inside your butthole, right? This is going to get lost in the sauce. We need a flare base.
Lost in the sauce.
check out YouTube, everyone. If you're just listening on audio, that's okay. But what Tracy's holding up each of the products, you can see, and they're beautiful. This one's like a rose gold, and it has this like textured plate almost, but it's silicone on the end of it. That looks like it's shaped similar to the external bits of the vulva with the bullet like in the middle.
The
looks
textures
like Jaws.
are awesome.
Jaws.
There's so many different textures on there too. Like that, you know, if you're using this on a clitoris likes textures, not necessarily the smooth surface. Perfect.
Yes. Yeah. So, and also, this one is completely shower friendly. They're also bath time friendly too. So I can put this in cold water.
Okay, is it lightweight? Because it's like this is a thing for travel. Some of my toys they weigh way too much, and I'm like, I can't bring this thing with me. I'm like, this is like 12 pounds.
I know. No, this weighs like no more than an ounce. So this is our heaviest one. We have a smaller one too. That's like about like a smaller bullet size too. So we have those options.
Wait, I have a question. With because that's like metal, right? And so you're a carry-on person. How do you when you're traveling with you're actually carrying on? Because when you're checking stuff in, they're not seeing.
Get the nastiest, crustiest dildo and put it right on top.
So that's one of my things. Okay, this is a multi-part question. Okay, so when I do carry-on, and actually even when I check in a bag, I'll like deliberately put a sex toy on top so that if they try to search my shit, not that I have anything bad in there, but you know they're like, ooh, I don't really want to touch this one very much. And so, but what about, so when it's metal though, like they're going to search your bag almost every time you go through.
I have not always been very, very lucky because I learned about placement also in the bag. Okay. So if the TSA person is looking at it like this, they're looking down
like at
barrel.
The base.
Oh, at the base. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they're looking at it like a barrel. But because TSA now has like these new like super computers that can like move it around and they can see like the whole shebang now.
Like a 3D image almost of it?
Yeah, 3D image. Now they're being less like, you know, intimidated to be like, what is in that bag? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that also things that sometimes like, it depends on like how it sits. In the bag that I think that TSA is like, I don't know what the hell that is.
And what about chargers too? That you don't want a bunch of chargers. I've been secondary searched because I had a ball of chargers in my kit, my sales kit. And they were like,
wires.
It looked, I mean, it did kind of look suspicious when I saw it on the screen. They're like, that looks suspicious. I was like, it really does.
You're right.
It's just a bowl of spaghetti. No, I think that one thing I like to do is I keep my item with the charger, keep it separate, you know, sometimes, I mean, I can't say that about like my sample luggage suitcase with all my product. And I'm like, I don't give a hell. They're going to check it anyways. But I think with it comes to smaller pieces, like try and get one that does not have a cord. So one that has like a USB port, for an example, allows for you. I don't know why I'm doing all this reaching today.
That's okay. That's okay.
I have to teach yoga later on tonight, so I guess I'm prepping myself.
Yes.
But like just having something that has a USB charging port that allows you to like, you don't have to go, you go cordless then. And you
So
have
it's
something
built,
that goes.
the USB part that charges is built into the device. You just plug it
Yes.
into the
So
wall
the
device or
battery,
your
yep.
laptop.
Yep, the battery is here.
Yeah.
And then the motor is here. And then
Or you could just get
charge it.
battery operated. I mean, there's a lot of toys that are. I don't know if you have.
There are. I mean, but then
Bring
you're
backup
thinking of
batteries.
bringing batteries, right?
Yeah.
Bringing a lot of batteries. And you have to also consider that TSA do not want a lot of batteries on the top of the plane above head. So you have to consider that if you're going to bring in like a big dildo that's vibrating and you need like C batteries or D batteries, you may want to check that one in. So you don't have to worry about that hassle of.
And those are heavy.
Saying,
C batteries.
But they are asking now when you check your bag. I'm sorry, we're getting off trail. This is, I've been wondering and I've been lying. Oh my God, you're in TSA. But they're like, when I have my sales kit and there's like, are there any rechargeable lithium ionic batteries in here? And I'm like, no.
She has like 8 of them.
No, there's like 40 toys in there that are all lithium. And I'm like, is the plane going to explode? So I started like researching this and I'm like, no, there was one time a Samsung phone, I guess, that exploded.
That's what it was.
I'm not having any Samsung products, and I'm not. It's not Samsung. I think they got it together. I think we all learned something. Yeah, not sponsored. So I don't know. Do you guys please? Someone help me. Do you all make me help me not feel bad about myself for lying every time? Is that bad?
No.
I mean, if we're lying, then there's a lot of people that are lying. I mean, that's meaning saying like people that have like their kids' gadgets that also have lithium ion batteries, an iPad, like the entire, I mean, everyone is on some kind of mobile device when they're on the plane, right? So I think at this point, I mean, of course, like sometimes you do get that little bit of worry, especially if the item is staying on. We forget to put up the travel lock on there and it's still buzzing and rattling. Maybe it could cause some like weird frequency play. Who knows? At the same time, I mean, for me, I'm just like, nothing that I think would cause, an explosion or anything. And again, just making sure that I travel lock my items, or if it's, without batteries, then all right, at least I know I'm traveling in the state. Let me go to a Target and grab my batteries once I land.
Yeah. You know those times though, when your vibrator turns on in your suitcase? That's happened to us many times. I'm like,
too many times.
I think your vibrator's on. We're like walking through the airport.
When I went
too many times.
The Fun Factory, because I had such a huge sales kit, stuff would be on all the time. And I got called off of the plane onto the tarmac once in Seattle because the woman called me. I was boarded and she's like, is there an April Lampert on the plane? And I was like, yeah. I'm like, am I in trouble, Mom? And then she's like, hi, we have to talk to you. Your bag is vibrating. And like said it super. And guess what? It was the most phallic looking one that was on the bottom that I had to go fish out in front of like all the dudes. And I didn't think they'd ever take me under the tarmac, but it was like one of those you'd board by the
on the tarmac. So it must have been a small plane. Yeah. It was a smaller plane.
Well, that's a smaller plane. Yeah, but we were flying to, I think I was flying to Canada from Seattle.
Okay.
And so anyway, she called me off though, and then I had to go, and the dudes were fucking dying laughing.
Yeah.
And because I was doing a commentary, I was like, well, you know what? I'm like, I would tell you that I don't use all these, but I do.
Yeah.
And they're like,
but I cleaned them before.
But I cleaned them.
Yeah,
you want to touch it?
Clean.
It was like a big, giant orange dildo looking vibrator.
Yeah. But that also brings you to the point where you just said to Canada, which is a very valid point. Like you're going overseas now and you're bringing these items. I like to suggest that when people are shopping in store or online, that they're looking for certifications that allow for them to bring this item overseas or across the land. Canada can be a little bit challenging from sometimes when they are just like, look at a wand, they're like, this is a weapon. I'm like, a weapon of mass pleasure? Like,
come on.
Yeah, you're like, I'm sorry.
Depends how you look at weapons.
And Thailand, it's totally illegal. Dubai, I think Dubai is getting a little bit better, but you cannot bring sex toys are illegal.
Yes.
I brought a Bullet Vibe to Thailand when I went there, and I like did some research. I like stuffed it into like my cosmetic. I felt like I was like a drug carrier. I was like, I feel like I have drugs. It's just a bullet vibrator.
So is it when it's illegal? Is it all sex toys, or is it when they vibrate, or if it's phallic? Like, how do they know that my non-vibrating carrot looking thing is a sex toy? I might just use it to pretend like I need a carrot.
I've yet to like travel to Thailand because now that's another thing. Like I also keep in mind of like, I like to bring my sex toys with me. They are, again, my essential. So where am I going to go? And that also depends back onto like, what can I bring? Or when traveling overseas, is there a place that I can be able to obtain these items that can still work for me? A lube and a small vibrator, that's just my personal choice. But being in Spain, like I could have got like a ginormous butt plug. I could have got like a ginormous dildo, restraints, collars, like anything and everything that I wanted from a retailer shop. They were all at my fingertips, which was great. And also seeing brands that we also know in the industry also made me feel even more safer to buy these items overseas. So if you know that you cannot take these items anywhere, maybe there might be a place that you will be able to find something. I mean, they have this spot. It's a vending machine. It's called Pika Pika, like Pica and Pika. And they sell everything in there: sandwiches, clothing, diapers, sex toys, prophylactics, condoms, lubrication, blah, blah, blah. And all at just like the tip of just like a couple of euros. And you're able to obtain that even so much as the level of convenience and discretion that you may need when you are also traveling. Maybe you don't want to go into a sex store. Maybe you're with a group of people that you're not comfortable with. We're just on a platonic level, and we don't want to be talking about sex stuff right now.
It's none of their business.
Pressure. Right.
None of your business. Okay.
Yes. Right.
Also, I was thinking though, Tracy, if you do ever want to go to Thailand, there's always Nature's Pocket.
Just don't go through one of those scanners that can see inside, like there's an X-ray.
Yeah, you go they don't, and you're just like, I'm Nature's Pocket. This is
Nature's
my
Pocket. She shoves it in her pussy. That's so you know. It has to be a small toy though.
I mean,
you have a small pussy.
That's what
that's why we have snug plugs for B-Vibe.
See, that's what I'm saying. You could use a snug plug and you're like, sex toy, check. And Nature's Pocket, check. And we're good. Boom. And then if it's in there.
I think if I was traveling somewhere where I was like, okay, I might get arrested if I bring a sex toy, I would just use, and I have never done this, but I've heard people that have my electric toothbrush, but I haven't figured out, like the one side's too smooth, so it's not going to do anything. The other side's too bristly. I think I'd have to like put, like maybe I'd get one of your little tops from one of the lay wands, like put it over the tip and try that. Maybe get creative.
That's not a bad
about that.
I guess there is a brand that also has come up with an electric toothbrush, and then like they have an accessory like piece to it. I've seen that before, and while it's just like I think it's very targeted for a certain person that they want that targeted stimulation, right? Yeah, nipples, clitoris, frenulum, testicles, scrotum, like all of those things. It still has to like really answer to that person for that body. So it may not work for me, but like just to see like, oh, conveniency, like one less motorized thing to bring on the plane. Like,
what about so like, you know, things like Lay Wand or Magic Wand or the Vim Vibe, all of those, you know, they're these big wands that you don't have to just use in your genitals. You can use them as massagers. And I think back in the day, people were like, use them as massagers, like I also put on my genitals. Yeah. There are the ones like the Theragun and all kinds of things that are like not sex toys or air quotes.
Those are illegal in Thailand. I haven't looked into that, but I love my Theragun.
Fucking strong.
I tried the Theragun on my vulva once and it worked because I also like power, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. And plus it's like because you can choose the different attachments. In mine, I use the globe looking sphere one.
Sure, yeah.
But it's like a soft, it's kind of spongy. It's also like a spongy material.
Are you like faux thrusting right now? Is that what it's doing?
I don't know, but I liked it. But I was like, I can never do that again. I feel like I might have bruised my fucking vulva.
I mean, like those people, you know, people that use that are like athletes.
Yeah,
I mean,
generally.
You know what?
Even like on the baseball game, like in the Tigers game, they're just like, and I'm like,
Well, when we just did our retreat in Costa Rica, a woman woman who was part of the retreat brought her she had the mini Theragun, and she I guess she said she uses it like on the airplane and while she travels on her shoulders and her body that's aching. But then she brought it and she was like massaging people with it, not on their genitals again. Where I was like, oh, that's a great way to have 2 in 1. You have your thing for all your aches and pains in your body and it will get you off. You might need to wear like a pair of jeans or five to not be overstimulated.
And that answers to a lot of accessibility when people really need that, especially if you're experiencing chronic pain, fibromyalgia, and you need that constant motivation, that massage item to really literally work from head to toe. And I think that is a really, really great thing that people can be able to bring. I think that Lawan has that same kind of, we have those ones that give you that same kind of feeling that allows you to work literally from head to toe and not have to figure out like, I got to bring this item, then I got to bring this item because I have chronic pain. And then I have to also consider like, I have to explain this to someone, while I'm traveling too. Like, this is not a sex toy. This is something for my body. But even if it is, it's none of their fucking business.
It's not their business. Sometimes there's toys that are like, I think about this because of people that have vaginismus or they have different, they need dilators or things that help relax the eggs. I'm wondering what is considered in some of these countries, what is considered illegal, or because that's not a sex device. In my brain, when I use an egg, the
crystal egg, just like a little egg that you burn
like the yoni eggs, a Kegel egg. Sure,
there's nothing sexual about that for me. I put it in. I do my daily business.
They would think it was just some gem or crystal, though. If they saw it.
Because there's also a lot of mining practices that come from Thailand. So I think that would probably be okay. And again, when you get into those spaces, just like do your research and figure it out to where like maybe vibrating toys may not be your jam. Maybe it's something you have to think about more, including like lubrication, maybe a softer item to allow for masturbation to happen. There's tons of like sleeves for penis owners. There's tons of grinding pads for folks with vulvas. So you have your way to definitely be able to navigate through that space without folks, pulling out your bag and saying like, this is illegal and you're going to get arrested. And
I don't think they'll arrest you. I think they'll just take it. I think.
Yeah, I think I'm sure
if it's drugs, that's different. This is sex toys. Unless you have like a bunch that you're trying to smuggle into the country, like a bunch of sex toys. I think that could warrant an arrest. I can't imagine you going to jail. Now, someone might write us and be like, no, April, look, back in 2005, I was in prison for bringing that could happen.
What was the movie with
Broke Down Palace?
Yeah, with Claire Danes.
Yeah.
With drugs, but like, what if it was vibrators? And locked away for a decade because of one vibrator.
Yeah.
Time for a quick break to talk about one of our sponsors who just so happens to be our absolute favorite lube, Uberlube. Uberlube is a luxurious silicone lubricant and it enhances intimacy. It's there when you want it and it blends in when you're done with it. So you have control over that lube. It's long lasting and leaves the skin extra velvety. And honestly, y'all, I want it all over my body. Thousands of doctors in the US are recommending Uberlube to their patients. It's body friendly, less likely to change the pH, and it has vitamin E, so it feels extra moisturizing.
There's a reason why we've been a fan of Uberlube for years. There's no flavor or scent. It's even great for oral sex, everyone. But it's not just great for sex. You can use it for massage, your hair. You can prevent chafing. It even brings out the colors of your beautiful tattoos. And the bottle is absolutely gorgeous. It looks more like a cosmetic, so you can leave it anywhere shamelessly for easy access. Just go to uberlube.com and use the discount code shameless10 to get 10% off and free shipping. Again, that's uberlube.com right now with code shameless10 for 10% off and free shipping. This podcast is also brought to you by OMGS.com. Join over 1 million people who are experiencing more pleasure with OMGS. They take scientific research of thousands of vulva owners, showing techniques to pleasure that pussy. They turn this research into tasteful, educational short videos, animated modules, and infographics. OMGS is for anyone who wants to learn about vulva pleasure or take it to the next level. Want to take your orgasms from good to out of this world?
then check out OMGS. Or if you're a vulva lover and want to up your pussy pleasuring skills, then you need to check out OMGS.
I've personally been recommending OMGS to my clients for years, and it's completely changed their lives. They have 3 seasons: external pleasure, internal pleasure, and sex toys. It's not a subscription service, and you don't need to download a thing. OMGS also makes a fabulous gift, and your purchase supports more pleasure research. So just go to omgs.com/shameless to get 10% off right now. Again, that's omgs.com/shameless to receive 10% off unlimited access towards enhancing your pleasure power. The link is in the episode's description. I have a fun question for you both. It's kind of like a little rapid fiery, but if you can elaborate it. So the sex on the plane thing is, really cool and hip to people, but also
those bathrooms are fucking.
no, I don't think it is, but the mile, and they're tiny. I'm like, when I go in, I'm like, get me the fuck out of
I
here.
don't touch anything.
But I'm not talking about that. I saw another podcaster talk about how she was baiting on the plane. She had like the whole row to herself. She just put the blanket over. She had a little bullet vibe, and it's so loud in an airplane, so she was getting off.
Oh, for sure.
What do y'all think? Would you do it? Have you done it? Too inappropriate, badass? What you think? Baiting on a plane.
Context. Okay, so much context. I would say I would do it if I was booted up to first class. You know how you have those pods, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, pod. Yeah.
You have those fun pods. You're more relaxed. Also, again, super hydrated. You can whip out a bullet that is obviously anything that's going to be quieter. I don't think anything's going to be louder than what you're really going to be on the plane, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I would probably go for it then. I would not do a bathroom. I'm just very slightly germophobic in that space where I'm just like, it's just not, I'm just
even aside from the germs, it's not like a pussy throbbing space.
I just don't, and the smell of it, but to each their own, right? Because maybe that person likes that kind of the smell of it, the fluid play, like all of those things, and to also be able to successfully have an orgasm or just a series of pleasure in that small little confined space.
Yeah, but also fuck off if I have
you.
to go to the bathroom and you're baiting in the bathroom. I'm gonna be pissed at you.
So
Okay, bro.
There's the other thing, like consent is a thing too. Like if you're baiting over there, like in the row next to me or something, and I pick up on the fact that you're actually masturbating, which you're probably, it's probably easy to hide on an airplane, but that you're masturbating or having an orgasm, I didn't consent to being a part of your sexual experience. That's not going to feel good. And like April said too, if I'm waiting to get in the bathroom and you're taking over because you're
times where I'm like, I have to go, and I'll forgive folks, like the older folks that you can tell like wearing a jumpsuit. That's usually me. That takes a minute to get everything on. I'm like,
why do you travel with a jumpsuit on?
Fashion first, Tracy.
You don't have to think about the top and the bottom. It's all one piece.
You're right.
And then I have to gather it while I'm on the seat to make sure nothing touches anything. And it's like, I ask myself that, Tracy, what you just asked, like, why do I travel in a jumpsuit every time? And I don't think about that until I'm using the loo. And then I'm like, why did I travel in a jumpsuit? But there's sometimes people are in there, and I've actually timed it. Someone was 25 minutes in the bathroom. I was like, what could you possibly be doing in the bathroom? And I get it, but this is not SportsCenter. It's not on your phone right now. You're just like, they're like making a turkey dinner while everyone else, there's a line from here to Timbuktu because you are being selfish. So so if you're going to bait, okay, so I want to answer this rapid fire question, and mine is I would never bait in the bathroom for those reasons, because I care too much about other people's bio necessities. And some people's, they have incontinence. They could be having a child or had a child or
they
just
could be
laughing.
Sick. They get food poisoning.
Yeah.
And you block them from finding the bathroom.
And you do not want any of those situations. So be mindful of that.
Yeah.
So even if you are into the smells and the things in the bathroom, I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out of there if you're not going to the bathroom. Okay. That's my opinion on that. And number two. Thank you. Number two.
Speaking of bathrooms.
I think baiting on a plane. I would say I would perhaps do it. I'd have to have a shit ton of alcohol beforehand to like loosen up my nerves. I'd have to have a full blanket that could go over my head so no one, because I have to make like facial expressions that are pretty sexy while I'm baiting. So I'll be like, and sometimes sounds as well, I'll audible.
Yeah.
Does it hinder your orgasm if you don't make those facial
Absolutely, it does.
Yeah.
And I don't, the secret thing I could do, if it has to be very secretive, meaning I don't want anybody to actually know that I'm doing that and I've never done that. You baited next to me before while I was sleeping.
Yeah, but that's a hotel room.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I
was sleeping and I had my mask on and my headphones.
Yeah,
but
like,
I was
that's
like,
fine.
I didn't get into it. I don't care. I was like, great, good for you. Yeah. And on a plane, I'd have to be totally covered. There are new devices on airplanes. So have you seen those? Like full,
like the giant,
maybe your arms go in it and you look like a fucking super weirdo. But I'm like, I need one of those.
Sling?
It's like, so it kind of like pops up. And then you could use it many different ways. Now I don't sell this item. I was just
not sponsored by
probably,
this thing.
Probably on TikTok somewhere. And your arms could go in it like this, or you could put your head down, but it blocks off. It's like a tented thing, so it blocks off. You use your tray, and then it's like, but it's soft, so you can do lots of things. So I could put that over my body and my head, and then bait away, and then. But I need my own row, never next to a human.
That's too far.
But I also need my row. I would need my row also cleared behind me and in front of me as well.
Yeah.
So
same.
That's why, again, first class pods, there is not a doubt in my mind that the first class pods have not
been baited.
I'd have sex in one of those pods.
And sexing.
I would totally have sex.
And baiting.
They're a lot of times
100%.
comfortable. They are comfortable. And I want to also comment on the fact that airplane seats are not that comfortable spread across if you're not in the business or first class. And so it can be uncomfortable, but dude, I don't know. I think on long flights, I get it, but there are some sexy ass movies on these days on the flights too, where I have been pussy pulsating.
I don't really get, so you know what airplanes do to me? It's not like I'm watching a sex scene and getting turned on. For me, it's like I cry at everything on an airplane. It's not even a fucking rom-com or a sad scene. It's just like, oh, the little kid found a flower. I'm like, oh, I don't really know. It's more of a sad place for me, really.
I watch all the rated R scenes and I have no shame in my game. I'm like, sorry, kid, turn around.
Oh, I don't give a shit.
It has a thing so your neighbors shouldn't be able to see as much. But if it's on the plane, fuck the kid next to you. Sorry, kids. But you can watch whatever you want. It's on the plane.
I usually just tell the flight attendant, I'm like, yo, there's a kid next to me. Fuck the kid next to me, okay? I need a new seat. And then they move you.
That is true.
They will. They'll move you.
They will.
What? Really? Seriously? You
yes.
Yeah, they will.
You just have to be like, I don't like children. And this is not true, everyone. For me, I like children. I love children. Well, you have to learn today because you get a screaming little shit ass and you're on a plane for 12 hours.
The shit ass is my issues when they're behind me and they just kick me for 12 hours.
Oh, well, that you can't.
We love kids, everyone. Can you tell that we never birthed
I adore children. I adore them so much, but not when they're kicking my seat. And I'm very nice to them.
So we need to wrap soon, but I wanted to just really quickly ask
confessions. I feel like this was a confessional episode.
Naughty. Yeah, airplane
Tracy, of course, you'd bring that out of us.
Yeah.
Or of me. Because I'm like, I
wish we had cooler stories where no, fuck that. I was in the overhead compartment banging and baiting.
I think we should call this episode something about the confessional because it's pretty good.
Sex on the road and overseas confessional.
Yeah.
Okay. So before we wrap up though, I want to just real quick find out what you have to say about the long distance relationship, because we kind of commented a little bit on that before. But if I'm traveling overseas or here in the US of A,
I'm going to Wisconsin. And you're going to be here.
And my partner's not with me, and we want to stay connected erotically while I'm gone. What are your recommendations? And I guess we've talked on the show many times about Bluetooth toys that use Bluetooth technology. I don't know if Be-Vibe, Laywan, all those brands, if they have any of that. And I firmly believe that you can just use a toy and your partner can use a separate toy and y'all could just FaceTime. So but what do you think?
You pretty much answered that question for me personally.
You have FaceTime, it's fine.
Yeah, we have so much digital technology at our fingertips: Zoom, FaceTime, just phone sex.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, at Play Toys. That would be our new our cone that has just been released. The Cowgirl. Yeah. It's small, it's very compact, so it's definitely easy to be able to take on the road with you. And you can definitely have that kind of feel me technology, if you will. But also I just sometimes I think that just even a small phone sex conversation, just naughty conversation just to get you in the mood, and then send those freaky pictures, those nude pictures that really just boost up that stamina that makes you feel so aroused by your person. I think that that's still again, it's still in that level of communication, because even if you can't talk, you still have this picture that you can fantasize and create whatever story you would like to in your fantasy and be able to have that wonderful orgasmic experience. I think that is, to me, is also more rooted. I think it's sometimes a little bit more organic because that person is doing their best to be in a position for you, whether that means literally just holding their penis, or if they're even just spreading open the vaginal lips, like that's still effort. Mm-hmm. And that effort should never go unnoticed, unvalid, or anything like that. It should definitely be respected and like loved for. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I also like big ups to folks that are poly, or big ups to people that have open relationships. Are you in a space? Are you in a different part of the city where you can meet up with one of your other play persons and be able to have that playtime and include the other person in, right? What does that look like? Phone sex, talking to them, leaving the phone literally on speaker. And just literally
that. I love that.
Yes, like telecock, telehold.
Telecock.
Telecock, so it allows for you to be able to really be mindful of the space. So that person is still so included in that space and you're not necessarily leaving them to just wander and think. Mm-hmm. So there's so many options, but I think also because of the fact that we are millennial kids, mm-hmm. we know about the telephone. We still rely on the telephone. I think that is something that we should not just easily give up because we have such a digital platform now where we see each other. Yeah. Sometimes just that auditory sound does so much, and listening does so much to the body that the body really just sucks it all in and says yes, I like to hear this and I want to hear this over and over again. And honey, I can't wait till I see you when I get home.
Oh. I don't know if it's just me as a person or if there's other vulva owners out there or if there's penis owners or the in-between folks, the non-binary folks out there. But for me, if I watched a super hot scene, porn or some kind of a movie without the sound, it doesn't turn me on as much as when I have the sound, the audible nature mm-hmm. of sometimes if I am watching porn by myself, for instance, I will not even look at it. I'll just hold it next mm-hmm. to my head because I know what mm-hmm. sounds I like though.
Yeah.
And I usually like to hear the dude personally more. I like to hear because a lot of times porn is centered around this
visual
mm-hmm. visual of the chicks always and I'm like, shut the fuck up, bro. I want to
barely hear him.
Yeah. And so I center myself around porn that is dude focused and the audible nature and sometimes the expressions too that I can see, but it's never for me. And I know that I think biologically men are different. I think they are more visual. Most cis men they're driven by the sight. And I don't know. So if there's someone out there that wants to comment and be like, I'm a dude and I love audible stuff too without singing, that'd be great. Cause I don't want to feel like I'm alone.
Right.
Am I alone out here? Am I weird?
Yeah. I think also when we look back to sound frequency waves, when we think about Darwinism, how mammals literally connect with each other by sound first, then the sight. I think that's how it goes. They are literally connecting to that because that's what they want to hear. So for us, it's like music. Do we like to hear something with a heavier bass? Maybe we're attached to something that has a more rumble vibration mm-hmm. as compared to someone that likes something like a guitar sound. That person may like a lot of buzz. Mm-hmm. So I think that when we get back into that gear of just really listening, and again, circling back to communication, listening to your partner while you're away, while you're either with them or not with them, just the communication alone and making sure that person hears you, they mm-hmm. hear you and it resonates for them. And they need to be able to be like, okay, I can give you this. I can definitely give you this. I think that's also why being a yoga teacher, I guess why I'm so supposedly paid yoga is because I do give a very powerful sound of push when you need to push. Mm-hmm. And then also there's a powerful sound when you just need to relax and really work on cadence. So that has a huge volume of that. Especially when someone is away, I like to hear when my partner, tells me I just put something on the calendar and I'm like, yeah, I'm turned on. Mm-hmm. Okay, all I'm going to do is bait afterwards thinking about him putting stuff on the calendar.
Putting that Excel spreadsheet together. You're like, I'm going to
Yeah.
spread something. It's not going to be a spreadsheet, but I'm going to
Yeah.
spread
So let's say
Ready. A lot
Yeah.
of things.
Well, I will say too, in partnership, and then we're wrapping up, and I could talk to you all.
I know
all
we
day.
can do this all.
I know, we
can do this
could.
for the next 3 hours.
I know. And we're like, other things to do now. But like partners that listen to these nuances of their partners really does amplify your sex life. So if you have an audible driven partner that loves either voicing how you feel or voicing what's happening, that's really sexy. And that could be a turn on. Or if you have someone that's more visual, you can kind of figure that out as well.
Mhm.
Or if you have someone, and my partner's tapped into that because he knows how much I love that. And so he will talk to me a lot during our sexual experiences, which really turns me on. And I can't do it. Like I can't talk. I'll sometimes just say like little like, meow, meow. But I have,
yeah, daddy, that's dirty talk.
yeah,
You already did.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
You don't need to say a
but
bunch.
he likes the moaning and the groaning and stuff. So I'll tap
Right.
into that. So if you like learn, so this is all like, I think these are all facets of building more relational tools that you can use in your own passionate moments, in your non-passionate moments with thyself, with thy others. I don't think that's how
Thy
it goes.
others.
Shakespeare
That
would
is
be
so
mad
good.
at
Thy
me.
others.
Thy others. And so I just want to say like thank you because I think you did a great job of breaking that down. And yeah, throw some sex toys in there. Why the fuck not? Maybe that buzzing is going
Yeah.
to turn your partner on. They don't even know it yet. They're like, "Brrr."
Yeah.
I like that.
Sure.
And-
For sure.
And so will you tell our listeners how they can maybe find some more Tracy, or maybe if they don't get more Tracy?
What if they're in
but-
Detroit and want to see you in action with the yoga? You don't have to.
Oh
say it.
yeah, they can do that.
Oh,
but,
okay.
but also the
Okay.
brands
But
you're
all the
talking
brand, yeah.
about, the websites,
Yeah.
all the links, and we'll have everything in the show notes as well, everyone.
Yeah. Okay. So you'll have all the links. Again, I am the product education director for B Vibe, which is a backdoor play, booty stuff, educational focus, premium line of sex toys. So really fun stuff when it comes to backdoor play. LaWand, as you saw some of the pieces that I had before, really nice, powerful, portable, adaptable items. And then the Cowgirl sex machines. When you're
Mhm.
thinking about power, April, I got you.
Yeah.
There is some really great things that you can definitely adopt into Power Play. Also, all of these items that you will find from any of our sites are very travel friendly. You can find us at LaWand Massager on Instagram. You can find us at bvibe.social on Instagram. You can find me at Tracy Flower Child Cherie on Instagram. I do not go hard because this is where I like my safe space to be.
Mhm.
But I would love anybody that would like to come to Detroit, DM me, hit me up. Definitely can get you into a really wonderful hot yoga session and really start to like fine tune sound and voice and a great meditative practice as well. So I think that's all the outlets that we have.
Oh,
perfect.
everyone can check obviously more out about Tracy. Just click the links because sometimes it's hard to remember all the links, but on our website, shamelesssex.com. And I'm just planting the seed for COTR. Think about that Theragun Action travel Theragun sex toy, that box that you could take anywhere. I could even get into Dubai with it. I don't have to put it in nature's pocket. Just planting the seed.
It's for my shoulder.
It's for my shoulder, I swear. So Theragun people, they're listening, they're like, damn it. We're
Not sponsored by Theragun.
Not sponsored by Theragun. So I can't wait to see you. We'll see you in July, Tracy, and we'll see all of our beautiful listeners next Tuesday. Before you go, though, rate us on iTunes, Spotify, anywhere you listen to. Google Play's dead now, apparently. No more Google Play. Whatever. We don't play like that with Google. And we do play like that with Spotify, and we need you because we had a fake account for a while, so it's harder to find us. So if you are listening to us on Spotify platform, subscribe, follow us again. I can't remember. No, I think it's follow. Everyone has a different
Yeah,
thing.
it's all different.
Yeah.
And then iOS, if you are an iPhone user, they just updated it. And guess what, y'all? That means that apparently there's technological difficulties sometimes. And this episode's coming out in 2024 in April. So if it's that around that time and you did update your iPhone, you're going to have to resubscribe to our podcast because you no longer will receive it unless you
Wow.
resubscribe. So we're losing followers.
Oh, is
People
that
still
what
love
it
us.
I thought
That's
it's just not downloading back catalog.
No, it's not downloading, re-downloading, even if you're subscribing. So they're hopefully going to fix it. But it is something that you might not automatically get episodes downloaded.
Don't miss out on Shameless Sex.
Don't miss out. Now,
Don't
if you
miss
are
out,
an Android
peeps.
user, then you can go fuck all, but your plane might explode. Just kidding. That is a total joke.
Scared people.
I know.
I not sponsored by iPhone. Or Apple.
We do love you all, and I am full of a lot of sarcasm. So please understand my sarcasm. Not shit, just sarcasm. All right, y'all. We love you. And I say that with full, my full heart. And I cannot believe that you all give us the gift of educating you and having folks like Tracy on our show. Please, please understand how much we love you. And remember, we're live, we're on the road. Check out shamelesssex.com for so much more from Shameless Sex. You can also buy our book, Shameless Sex. Okay, that's it. I got nothing else for you, but I love you. Amy, I love you too.
Thank you.
Love you, Tracy.
Thank you.
I love you more. I love both of
Ooh,
you.
it's a competition.
All right, y'all. We'll see you next Tuesday. Ciao for now.
Want to learn more? Go to shamelesssex.com. And for 15% off of some of our favorite sex toys, use coupon code shamelesssex at purepleasureshop.com.